Okay. So now we'll go over object components briefly and into using poly modeling tools. So let's start over, I guess. So let's make ourselves a cube. Now I'm going to be pressing R to scale. So I'm scaling this out. I'm going to make this into a table. I don't have any reference. I'm just going off of a table I have in my mind. So of course, this is the position of the object in space. Now, if I hold down Control, I forget what it is on a Mac, but I'm kind of moving it up and down. If I just click behind the number, or you can move it up and down like this, which is not a problem. But if I go over here, we have divisions. We have our divisions for our width, our height, and our depth. Right. So if I wanted to increase the length of this or scale it in, remember we have our three: vertex, edges, and face. So vertex, I can take vertex and I can take this selection. I can move it in, move it out. Take this one, move it in, move it out. For this, I'll just go like this. Now, if I want to make this a little bit thicker, I can press 4 for wireframe, select all of these, move it up and down. Or because it's just one face, I can just go to faces and click on that and do it like this. Cool. Now we have edges where I can double click on the edge and it'll give me a whole edge loop, but there's no edge loop here. So it's just going to give me a single edge. So if I could hold down Shift and get them all and do like this. So there's 3 ways to do that. Okay. And remember, you access all of those through holding down right click. And if you want to get out of a mode, move the whole object, go to object mode. And we have the whole thing now. So now let's get into some of these tools. Now, if you go over here to the left side, we have modeling, and it has all of our basic shapes we're going to be using. And remember, we're not using any of these. So anytime you make a blue shape and it looks blue over here, you've done something wrong, all right? So let's go back into this mode. And we have all of our tools right here. Now, if I go over here into edit mesh, we have a lot of these tools that we see on this, this right here, collapse, it's right here. Circularize, which I never have used, right here. Also, if I hold down spacebar and I go to mesh tools or edit mesh, it's right here too, right? So this is the second way. We see them. We also have some keyboard shortcuts, but another big one is shift right click. Shift right click has a lot of the tools in it. So yeah, we have extrude, mirror. We have a whole lot of tools right here. Same tools that we'll see up here. So 3 ways access them. Some of the tools we're going to use just shortcuts. Some of the tools we're going to use a lot of shift right click. Okay, so check this out. Right now, I want a table leg. Now, what I could do is I can take this cube right here. I can scale this like this. Put it right here. And I can say, all right, let me put it at the edge of this table. Have it right here. And I can say, all right, I want it to be flush with the ground, so let me scale it up and then move it. I could do that. Or I could be smart and just say, all right, let me go to vertex, grab the vertex, and then just bring it right here on the floor. That's one way you could do it. I could also slice into this mesh right here and get a leg from a polygon. But these polygons are really big, so we need to make some smaller ones. So we can go to this tool right here, which is our multi-cut tool. If I do a shift right click, is it there? Oh, it is there. So if I do shift right click, multi-cuts right here too, or we can go to the shelf and get it. Or we can go over here to mesh tools and go to multi-cut. So anyway, let's click our multi-cut. Let's just click it right here. Now I didn't choose the object I want to cut first. So now we have a little issue. But let me, the correct way to do it is like this. Oh yeah, so I'm still in the tool. That's why you see this. But if I press Q to quit, now I'm not in the tool. So let's do that again. So I'm selecting my tabletop. Now I'm clicking this. I'm not holding down anything. I'm just clicking it. And now the tool's activated on this polygon. I mean, on this piece of geometry. So what it's doing is it's snapping to the closest like vertice. So if I go right here and you see it snapping, I click it. Now it gives me like a line, I guess, connected to there. Or I can go over here to one of these edges and click it. So let's see what happens then. If I click right here, it leaves me a point, right? Now if I go over here, if you look at the knife, the icon changes. So not only is the polygon changing to this red edge, the knife, the little box is hollow. So it means I can make a cut right here. I can slide it across. And those numbers just mean that it's like like right now it's 1% of this edge right here, this whole edge. So I can click it somewhere. All right, then I can click. Well, actually, if I click right here, right? So I made a cut and I press enter. What this means is I just made an extra edge right here. Now this knife tool is still here. It's still activated. To get out of it, you press Q to quit, right? All right, so I just quit that tool, but check this out. So now we have an edge right here, which I could, if I go to edge mode, I can grab it, press W, I can move it. And it looks cool, but there's only one problem. Now we created something called an n-gon. Right now, this is a polygon because it's still 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fine. It'll render. It'll look good. This one right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is fine. This is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this right here looks like a polygon, but it's not, right? It's something called an n-gon. And the reason why is because it's now 5 or more points, 5 or more edges. Now here are the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know if that's making sense to you all, but because this has the extra point here, this is no good. So we always want it to be polygons or triangles, but like this is not good. We can get away with the triangle on a cylinder. One, 2, 3 edges, that's fine. Because a triangle is half of this. But when we have 5 or more, it's no good. So anyway, so in a situation like this, if we're going to delete an edge also, we have to select the edge, shift right click, and click on delete edge. And the reason why we do that is because of this. Right now, if I was to click on this edge and just to delete it, now what we've done is this is now an n-gon. I'll show you why. Because what it does is it leaves a vertice behind when you just click on the edge and delete. I can click on a vertice right now and I can delete it and it's gone, fine. But edges will leave behind vertices. So that's important to know because now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is an n-gon. Now this piece right here is an n-gon too. Because if you look at it, those edges, it's not like highlighting the whole edge like this. There's a break because there's an n-gon. I mean, there's a point there. And same with this. So not deleting your edges in the right way can ruin things. Even though it doesn't look like it's ruined, it's bad modeling. All right. So if I go to vertex, you see these vertexes right here. I've seen this once where you select everything and then you press delete. So I selected all the vertices and I pressed delete and it cleaned it up for me. So those floating vertices aren't there anymore. Okay, so let's get into cutting this table and make the leg. So we have our knife tool. So remember, I select this object, I'm gonna grab my knife tool. So I could cut around this whole thing to make an edge loop and click right here and click right here and click right here. And then I'm clicking right here. And then right here, it says close, as you can see, and click right here. And then I press enter. And now it's, oh yeah, like, you know, it looks like I made myself a whole edge loop. And I'm gonna press Q to quit. And I did make an edge loop. And if I go to edge and I double click, it gives me a loop around this whole thing. If I press 4, we can see it. Now it made an edge loop, but it's janky. You know what I'm saying? It's like all like skewed and it looks crazy. Now there's two things we can do to fix it or to make it correct, you know, to make it like ruler kind of straightness, you know, like not make it like a hand cut type of deal. So I can press R for scale and I can just scale like this. And now it's correct. I press 5. So let's look at it again. So what it does is it kind of cleans it up. So I can do it like that, or I'm gonna delete it right now. So I'm gonna do shift right click and click on delete edge. If I wanna make my own cuts, I'll just click on my knife tool. I clicked on my mesh, clicked on my knife tool again, hold down control, and now you get these like edge loops that are precise, you know, completely straight. So I'll click one right here, click one right here. I'm gonna completely freehand this, right? Well, I'll just do this side over here. I'll click over here once.
Excuse me, what's the control for that again?
The
For the straight lines.
oh, you hold down control, but it might be like command or something. I don't know what it is on a Mac.
Okay. Oh, and then you just make the lines.
So right now
Okay.
I'm like I'm not clicking on anything, but if I hold down control, now I'm getting this. So without control held, it's just like a knife being waved around. Now it's like a knife that's like a circular saw, but we're not sawing anything necessarily. Let's make
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. So now I'm just holding down control, I'm clicking. Now we have this. So I have these edge loops. Now, remember, we're in the tool, we want to quit the tool, press Q for quit. Some of these things you're just going to hear me say over and over again. So I guess get used to it. That's one of them. So now it's like, I would like to make one of these faces into a leg, or both of these, let's say. So we can do that by right clicking and let's go to face. Now I'm going to select this face right here. Now to pull it down, there's it's called extrude, right? So this is in 3 different areas too. It's right here is one of them. I don't like to use this one though, because I think something's different when I use this one. And also if I go over here, I mean, some professional person might be like, nah, there's no difference, but I think there's a difference. I go over here and do it, I feel like there's a difference too. But I like to do it like this. I like to do shift right click and see what's happening. I do shift right click. So I'm gonna put my mouse over the object I want, shift right click, and there's extrude face. And I can click on that and it gives me this handle right here. Now with this one, I can go to thickness, right? And if I move this thickness, then this face extrudes. Also, if I hold down control and do it, it gives me more control. It doesn't move as fast. Like I said, it might be something different on a Mac, but PC, it's control. There's this local translate Z. Never really used this. I guess it's just translating from the face that it's extruding from. I never really used it. Then there's offset, which will scale in that face. All right, let's give some more divisions. And then we have, I'm sorry, thickness. Then we have divisions, which gives you divisions along that leg. And then there's keep face together, which I'll show you in a moment how that one works. Yeah, so we can do like this. We can go to offset. We can mess with this. We can keep it on 0. And then if we want to quit this tool, press Q to quit. Go to object mode. And now we have this table with this leg. Because remember, this one's the independent one we just, I just made out of another cube. Now this one's attached. All right. Let's do the same with this one over here. Now I could have done them both at the same time. I just didn't. But let's just do this one. Now let's do this with the shortcut. Now the shortcut says, go up here, edit mesh, extrude, Control E. So that's the shortcut I'm going to use. Control E. And now the same menu comes up. Now I can go to thickness and go like this, or I can just kind of pull out this arrow and put it where I need to be. I think I'll do that. And if I want some more divisions, I can do that. And cool. Now this last one, keep face together on. Let's see what that does. I'll go over here to get this sphere. Put this right here, just to put it here. Now look, this is one of those situations where all my stuff is kind of on the left side of my screen. I'll just press F to zoom in and I'll zoom out. And that just gives me a better view and perspective to look at this. So check this out. We have faces right here. If I select one, this is a face, this is a face. If I select up here, I have 4 faces, and then I do Control E for extrude. It's giving me this blue handle. I can pull it out. I can go to thickness. Another thing I can also do is press W for move and then just move. So I can do that as well. So what this does, it works off the normal, which is, I'm not sure if I explained that to you all in this class. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I think I did. But anyway, I'll do it again. A normal is the center of every face. So right now, if I just I'm gonna double click on this to get all the faces. Do a shift right click, go to face normal, and go to toggle face normal display. So these little green sticks sticking out of here, it's basically saying this is the center of this face. And this is like the centermost part of this face. And this is the way it's, this is the direction it's facing in. So that's what you call the normal. Now I'll get rid of that. Double click on this, shift right click, face normals, toggle face normal display, so it's off. So if I was to go over here and I get these, Control E, and I move with this thickness, it's moving off the normal, which is, I think I already did it on those faces. Control E, which is the way that stick was facing that we saw when I was toggling the display. Okay. But remember, as soon as we activate this, we can press anything else. So I can press W and pull this and go wherever I want. Anyway, there's keep faces together. What is that? That's when we extrude a bunch of faces at the same time, but independently. So right now, if I wanted to get the, I'm gonna get a whole ring of these faces. So I can go like this and hold down Shift, and I can select all of these, and press 4, and I can go along this whole thing to get this whole edge. I can do that. Or I can do like this. I can select one face. Well, I'll just do it here. Select one face, hold down Shift and double click, and it gives me this whole edge. I mean, this whole loop of polygons. Now, if I do a Control E for extrude and I scale them out, I mean, I use thickness and I pull them out, or I can use this blue one right here. It's always the blue one. Now it's not blue anymore. Okay, so I can do this. But if I want to do this keep faces together off, it'll individually extrude all of these. And all I'm doing is clicking, left clicking, and sliding. Look, it even has it right here. But I never use this. Usually just this menu right here. So just to show you what it's doing, you know, and it's giving us U divisions right here too. All right. Now something else to note, if I click on one face right here and I do shift greater than, it gives me the next face. So it's growing the selection. Shift greater than is growing the selection. So it's giving me all these faces. Now also, if I select all these faces right here and I do shift less than, it'll shrink the selection. Okay. All right, so we have Extrude Tool down. And we have our knife tool. So what other tools are there? So let's go over to the mesh. Just let me go down this list. There's Bevel Edge, which is, let's say if I go to my cube, go like this. Let's see what Bevel Edge does. So if I right click and I go to Edge, here's something else to note. If you go to Shift for right click, all the tools are specific to the component you choose. So what do I mean by that? Vertex. If I go to Vertex and I Shift right click, it'll say Merge Vertices. Vertex normals, extrude vertex. All the tools have to do with vertex, delete vertex. Merge vertices. So if I go to edge, shift right click, there's delete edge, collapse edges, bevel edge, extrude edge. And then if I go to faces, shift right click, extrude face, wedge face, merge faces. So shift right click has everything you need, all the tools you need. So let's go to edge, right? I'm going to select all these edges and I'm going to do shift right click and there's bevel edge. Now, if I click on this, this is what happens. It gives me like an extra edge. So it gave me basically an extra edge. Now, if I go to fraction, now I'm hold down control, I'm like scaling in how close those edges are to each other. Segments gives me another segment right here. So instead of being one extra edge, now it's two, that's three, and I can get it really round, right? There's depth. I guess it's like the profile of this. So yeah, we can see it. If you look at this, like it's a lot better. Now if I hold down control, so it's like giving me the opposite of this rounded curve and insetting it. Miltering don't really go to. And this is basically just adding more divisions, but without giving it like the round. Okay, so that's one tool, Bevel Edge. And that might be something to use after you've, well, this will come later on when we're doing objects where you want the edge to be soft. Right now, we're just like kind of building. So if this was a video game, the edges would be hard like this. If this was, let's say a movie set or something, Pixar type thing, these edges would be rounded like this. Because nothing in real life is really like hard edge like that. There's always a bevel, even on a glass table. Okay. So there's the bevel edge. What are the tools? I insert edge loop. So this is how this one works. So I select this, shift right click, insert edge loop. So we'll just use it from here instead of going up to the menu. Shift right click, shift right click, insert edge loop. Now this is how this works. It's going to give me a bunch of loops along this axis or whatever edge that you place it on. So if I go over here and I click, it just has one, right? If I click again, it gives me another one. So it's giving me these edges like wherever I want. It's kind of working just like the knife tool right now. So Control Z. So it's just giving me the random loops. And I'm Control Z back, so not just clicking on delete. So if I double click on this, because once the tool is activated, all the tool settings are over here. So I left click, double click, and what it says right here is multiple edge loops. So now that I've clicked on this, it says 2. So let's see what happens. I click and it gives me 2 edge loops, perfectly between this edge and this edge, because this is the edge loop we're working on. So if I were to click right now on this edge, it'll give me 2 edge loops along this, because it's looking at this edge and it's saying, all right, give me what's right there. Same thing here. See how I keep on going? Now, if I go over here and I make it to 6, same thing, it'll give me 6. If I click on this edge, it'll give me 6 between here. So basically, if you want evenly spaced out edges, you want to use this tool. Now, my tool is activated. Now I want to quit it. So I'm going to press Q to quit to get out of it. Now let's see how that would look if I made myself another table. So I'll take this, scale this out, scale this down. Don't want to go inside out. Over here. Now check out what I'm going to do. I'm going to bevel these edges. So take all these edges, select them, shift right click, bevel edge. I'm going to hold down Control, go to fraction. I'll go to my segments. I usually like to use a segment of 2 or more. I'll be a little fancy today. I'll do 3. No, I'll keep it 2. All right, press Q to quit. Go to object mode. Now I want to use my insert edge loop tool because I want to make some legs. So I'm going to go to mesh tools. I mean, no. I'm going to not go to this menu. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do shift right click, insert edge loop tool. Now, if I double click on this, the menu comes up. It usually comes up default like this, but if I go to multiple edge loops, that's when it'll give me multiple. So right now, let's say I just want to do 2. And let's say I want to do 4. I'll click along this edge. And now I have 4. I'll press Q to quit the tool. Now I want to use my scale tool, right? And I'll show you why. I'm going to double click on this. And the reason why I did that is to get the whole edge loop. If I click on it one time, I'll just get this edge. If I double click, I'll get the whole edge loop. So I know that's what it's doing because I've been doing this for a while. So I know once that edge is lit up, it's giving me the whole thing. So I'm going to do double click on this one, hold down shift, double click on this edge, press R to scale, and I'm going to scale this like this. So I'm eyeballing it. There's no magic number. I'm just eyeballing it. So I want that right there. All right. Now double click on this one, hold down shift, double click on this one. So I have the whole edge loop. Now I'm going to scale this, same thing right there. Great, all right? Now I want to use that tool again, right? Now I can do shift right click to get it back, but I can also do this. I can press the letter G to repeat the tool and it gives me the tool again. So now I'm going to click right here. Because remember, it's already set up for 4 because using the same number I did before. And now I have this. I can press Q to quit. And I'll just double click on this one. I'll get the whole edge loop, shift, double click on this one, whole edge loop, R to scale it over here. Double click right here, shift, double click, scale this out. Now I did all of that so I could get these 4 squares right here. Now what I'll do is I'll right click, go to faces, click on this face, hold down shift, click on this face. Now I'm holding down Alt and left click. I just let go of shift. So those are just being stored still. Now I'm holding down shift again to continue the selection, shift, shift. So now I have 4 of these things selected. They're all even because I used the insert edge loop tool instead of freehanding it with the knife. But if you freehanded it with the knife, whatever. But now I'm going to extrude it. Now I can do shift right click, extrude, or I can do control E. I'll just do shift right click just to keep the tradition going and go like that. Now I can use thickness, scale it. I can hold down control to give it more control, or I can pull down this. Let's pull it down. Okay. Now if I want to be extra fancy, yeah, let's be a little fancy, right? So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go do offset. I'm gonna scale this in just a little bit, and they're all scaling in at the same time, right? Now let's say I want to repeat this tool, right? All you have to do is press G. So I'm gonna press G. Oh wait, didn't work. I'll press G to repeat the tool. Now scale this out. Now it repeated because you see the edge right there, right? Now I'll go to offset, hold on control and make it a little bit bigger, let's say. We can even go to this one just to make it make more sense. So I'll press G again to extrude. All right. Now I'll press G again. I'll pull it down and I'll go to offset, scale it in a little bit like that. I'll press G again. Now I'll be extra fancy, I guess. Now I'll press G again. Pull it down. Go to offset. Press G again. And now I'll press Q to quit. So now I have my table like this. Now you can say, oh man, you know, like I want these legs to sit on top of on the ground. Let's make ourselves a ground just so it looks, so we can see a little bit better. Now you can say, oh man, I want these to sit on top of the ground. See how that's poking in through? So I can select this and check this out. I can go to vertex, select all of them, press W, and then bring it up. And because I'm using vertexes, I can just, you know, grab it like this and place it to where I need to be. Right click object mode. Now we're back in this mode. Now I can say, you know what? I think it's a little bit too long. That's cool. I'll just go to vertexes, grab all these vertexes right here, and I can push it in. And then the beautiful part about this is, oh, and check this out. I'll go into this too. This pivot right here is off, right? So if I want to rotate, it's like that. All I gotta do is click on this right here, center pivot, and now we're in the middle. And now this is beautiful because now I can do Control D. Now I have 2 different tables. Control D. Now I have 3 different tables. I have a longer one and it's wider. And everything's still on the ground. Because all we were doing is moving vertexes.